Hendricks. Thank you, and over to you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So, on the behalf of Lasa Super Generics Limited, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present on this conference call today to discuss Lasa's financial performance for the quarter and the financial year ended March 31, 2021. We have issued a detailed financial and press release. Hopefully, all of you had a chance to review it. At the outset, I hope that all of you and your loved ones are healthy and doing well even in this second wave, and request you to get vaccinated if you are eligible at the earliest so that we can sail through safely. Like always, I will begin by giving a brief overview of the company, followed by a review of the company's financial performance. Lasa Super Generics is a leading animal healthcare company engaged in the manufacture of veterinary, human APIs, and animal feed ingredients. We have multiple state-of-the-art WHO GMP certified manufacturing plants in the state of Maharashtra, having total volumetric capacity of 5,300 metric tons per annum. Further, our manufacturing operations have a significant backward integration linkages, which enables us to effectively cover all the aspects right from discovery to the delivery. The USP of our company lies in our expertise in catalyst chemistry and our patented intellectual property rights. We leverage our expertise in catalyst chemistry to make the API manufacturing process more efficient by utilizing suitable catalysts. After establishing a suitable catalyst and manufacturing process for a specific product, we apply for patenting of the process. At the present, Lasa owns multiple proprietary catalyst patents for its key API products. Patenting our unique production process prevents competition from using the same process, thereby providing us with a significant competitive edge and positioning it as a preferred supplier amongst the customers. Lasa boasts of a product strong portfolio consisting of a diverse mix of various products across the animal and human API segment. On the customer profile front, we have more than 400 customers across animal and human healthcare value chain, including multinational companies, poultry and dairy industry, and small and domestic formulators and traders. Now coming to the financial performance. During Q4 in FY21, we have seen a decline in our top line, which was majorly due to the concentration of the vaccine procurement by the government. Most of our existing customers are suppliers to government against tenders, and due to this ongoing pandemic and demand for vaccination and other COVID drugs, there are very few tenders that are coming up by the government, which ultimately has an effect on our top line. However, recently the trend has improved and we saw good growth in the demand, and if the trend continues, we should be crossing all our records this financial year. Let's hope for the best. I am pleased to say that we have delivered a decent set of numbers in FY21, led by robust consistency in the top line and bottom line year on year, and also worked out recommendation of the dividend, which we aim to continue for all the coming years with improved rates. This year it was just a gesture considering the cash flows used for debt repayment of the company. As per our commitment to the revenues from operations, it grew 21% year on year to reach 202.37 crores in FY21. The growth in the top line was led by strong traction in the company's key veterinary APIs and our key marketing efforts in this competitive market scenario. Export contributed approximately 40% of our total revenue in FY21. EBITDA stood at 47.28 crores with a growth of nearly 57%. EBITDA margin stood at 23.36%. Our PAT for FY21 stood at 22.80 crores, that is around 11.3%, which is phenomenal growth of nearly 530%. That too including a deferred tax liability, if compared to the same period in the last financial year. Strongest bottom line performance in FY21 was backed by our aim of zero finance cost and yield of higher EBITDA. After achieving nil finance cost, our priority continues in focusing on our cash flows and more improvement on the return on capital. Our working capital cycle continues to improve, and we consider it as the best among our peers, which enables us to generate a healthy cash flow. In fact, during FY21, cash flow generated from operations were more than 3 times on the year-on-year basis to 41 crores. Now about the outlook. Going forward, we should definitely deliver a consistent top line with at least 20 to 25% CAGR. We are looking to launch soon 2 blockbuster products with all-time strong demand in the market. We are determined towards newly adopted dividend policy, which aims to pay an interim dividend every quarter. I will not spell much on the outlook today. Let our performance and the numbers speak on time. Thank you all for your kind attention. I would request the operator to open the floor for the question and answer session now.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. First question is from the line of Vinay Pai, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Thanks for the nice presentation, especially the last line where we are told that the company will do very good from now onwards. We are very happy on that. My question is, what about the status of the Unit 2 expansion? When is it going to come up? Commission.
Which one?
The Unit 2 expansion.
Yeah, Unit 2 expansion, we are shortly putting up a press release. You will come to know about the whereabouts. Maybe by tomorrow or day after, the press release will be put about detailed about what kind of products will be done and what are the number of what is the capex which is done and everything. So I would prefer it to communicate to investors through press release only.
Okay, fine. Yeah, my next question is, I just wanted to know what is our share in the world market on the key prime products, that is, the albendazole and your other fenbendazole. I have heard that we are among the top.
As on the date, almost 60%.
We are having 60% in the share in the world.
In albendazole, we are the world leaders right now.
Oh, very good, sir. Very good. Okay. That's all I wanted to ask.
As well as in fenbendazole. See, we are world leaders in 3 products. One is albendazole, second is fenbendazole, and third is halifinol. So all these 3 products are our really boasting products. So we really do a good on this product. All the 3 products are backed by granted patents from the Indian government. Okay, so there is an entry barrier with that products also. So
wow, very good, sir. Thanks so much. The last question was, I just missed it. Maybe I'll come up later in the queue. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Alternatively, you can mail me also. My personal mail ID is omkar@lasalabs.com. You can mail it on that. You will get a reply immediately.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Pai, you have any more questions?
No. I finished and I'll come back again in the queue.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 at this time. The next question is from the line of Kiran Naik from Modi Fincap. Please go ahead.
Sir, who are our listed competitors?
Currently, see, as far as competition is concerned, we really don't face any big, challenge as far as competition is concerned. But however, since you asked the question, the similar product making companies in the listed space are one is Sequent Scientific, you must be knowing. So yeah. Those are our nearest competitors. And the second is, you must be knowing a name called as NGL Pharma.
NGL Pharma.
NG. So yeah. These both are our I will not say एकदम face-to-face competition.
Ester Bio is not a competitor?
No, not at all. I don't know what they are making, but certainly they are not coming, across any similar products in my portfolio.
Okay. And we are not facing in the international market competition from China?
No, not at all. At least our company, we are to exporting. My export has grown to 40%.
Okay.
40% jump in the export this thing.
Okay. For the year ending March 22, what is the likely growth in the sales revenue?
I am expecting likewise in the last year also I had mentioned and then I delivered whatever I spoke. Okay. So I always, try to be and plan to be more conservative side. So what I think the sustainable growth would be somewhere near to 20%.
Near to 20%. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. No more
Thank you.
questions from my end.
A reminder to the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Abhijit Avlekar, an individual investor. Please go ahead. So Abhijit, your line is in talk mode. Kindly go ahead with your question, please.
Oh, sorry. I was on mute. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Yeah, congratulations on the very good yearly results. Sir, I want to know, last time you said that the albendazole export from China are at a very cheap price and we are facing a lot of competition and there was a lot of issue about that you said last time.
No, sir. Sorry, I didn't say last time that the albendazole prices from China are very cheap and we are facing competition. It was not. I had stated this way that China is one of the competitor in albendazole, and in the future there might be a threat if they crash down the price. Then our growth is directly proportional to what they are putting in the market. So this is what I have said. Currently, Chinese price and our price is almost at par. We have not reduced our price for the sake of reducing, because ultimately it will give a hit on the bottom line, which I don't want to do.
Okay. Yeah, that was one of the doubt that I had in my mind when I saw the result. Anyway, that's fine. So my last question is, can you please provide us an update about progesterone? Did we get any kind of MNC contract or anything like that, a big one, like we 2 years got, you have given albendazole, there is a order of 100 crores, like that? Did we get anything? Just I want to know.
Progesterone usually, it is a very highly regulatory market, and most of the customers who are there are all MNCs only. You will not find any small company or a local formulator who buys progesterone. Okay, so mostly all the progesterone is provided to all the regulatory buyers, typically MNCs. So that is all. The market is increasing. My market share is increasing. The market is already big. It's an old product. We are trying to increase our market share gradually. See what happens, simply increasing market share doesn't make sense. You should have that production capacity also, and you should be able to deliver that quantity and everything. So we are going slow because it is a steroid item and we are new in steroid. As you know, steroid is our first introduction in our product portfolio. So we are going a little slow in our order to avoid any regulatory non-compliances or any FDA-related actions. We usually prefer to be on a slow note as far as the pickup is concerned. Once the pickup takes up, then we can definitely, sell in the market in a big quantity. So if you are asking me guidance about this thing, so this year we are planning around, say, almost 30 to 35 crores of sales of progesterone in this running year.
Okay, and just can I ask one last question?
Mm-hmm.
And you said maybe last two, previous to that you are trying for registration of products into Russian and other markets also.
Yeah. My albendazole is already registered in Russia. We have also started selling in Russian markets.
Okay, so the export is going on, right?
You will see the growth in exports right now. This year there has been a phenomenal jump in the export. So the reason behind the jump in the exports is registration in the regulated countries like Russia and other places, where we were earlier not present. So now we are already present over there. So the sales has increased.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rishabh Kochar from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Right.
Congratulations on the good numbers for FY21.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have two questions basically.
Yeah.
First one is what is driving the albendazole demand? Even there are so many competitors and this is very old molecule per se. So what exactly is the demand driver and how you guys are managing good growth in this molecule? First, second question is so have we done the backward integration for the albendazole to reduce the cost, or are we dependent on the Chinese player or some other player? If you can just throw some light on it.
First of all, all products, okay, except a few. Most of the products are fully backward integrated with no dependency on China. Most of the raw materials which I buy are local raw materials. Most of the raw materials, you may say 95-98% of the raw materials are local raw materials, except a very few, some of the things which are not available that we import that too. There are sources like China is not only the source. We can import from Japan also. We can import from Europe also. So there are multiple sources where so there is no Chinese dependency on our products. First of all, so the second question which you asked, how are we managing to grow in albendazole? Whether the product is growing and what is the reason for the growth in albendazole? So product is not growing. Product is as it is. Earlier the product was being catered by our competitors and Chinese counterparts. After we have improved on our facilities and our capacities, we are taking up the market share. So it is just growth in market share. It is not growth per se in the demand of albendazole. The demand is same. Our market share has increased, and going ahead also the market share will increase. See, dairy industry is not growing that fast. Dairy industry, as you know, 7 to 10% is the growth rate. It is not more. So albendazole, fenbendazole, whatever anthelmintic derivatives which are used to deworm all these catches and all, it will see growth based on our capacity additions only. So this is one of the things. Secondly, we have expanded in our geographies also. Like we have expanded in Russia, we have expanded in some parts of Latin America, we have expanded in Middle East. So this is the reason for the additional sales which is being reflected in our balance sheet. So that is number two. Thirdly, very important is we are not only backward integrated, we have our own IPRs also. We have granted patents from the Indian government. So that is helping us to curtail out any kind of local competition which is unnecessarily spoiling the market. So people who are trying to copy our process, particularly process, see, this is a process patent. Since albendazole is an old product, it is not a product, it's a process patent. But our process is one of the very, very refined process because we use catalyst. So somebody tries to copy our catalyst or do something similar kind of work by using similar catalyst, he automatically falls in the purview of the patent infringement. So that is one of the very good this thing we have USP or its entry barrier rather you may say. So that are the reasons for our this thing in leadership in albendazole.
Okay. Thank you for the answer. I have one more question. So based on your based on your technology of the production of albendazole, so in terms of costing, is it 10 to 20% cheaper than your competitors or something like that? If you can give a broad idea.
Well, my costing comes to around nearly to the RMC of the typically my RMC comes near to the selling price of the competitor. Rather the vice versa. Their RMC comes to my selling price. I'm so sorry. I interpreted it in, yeah. So the cost at which I produce basically the API is the cheapest in the market. The yields, the conversion ratios of the raw material to the finished product is cheapest because of use of the heterogeneous catalysts which I am using in my process, which are patented. Okay, it not only increases the yield, so reduces the time cycle, so the productivity increases. It reduces the effluent also, so the load on the environment also decreases. Then it is more energy efficient. The catalyst is energy efficient, so the steam or else the chilling or else whatever other utilities which are required to make the product are also less. So that is also very. So catalyst has a multifold dimensional approach, like to reduce the costing of this thing. So typically ये जो R&D के ऊपर जो EBITDA आता है ना, like cost of utilities and cost, direct and indirect cost, वो सब उसमें catalyst जो है वो कम कर देता है तुरंत. Immediately there is a reduction in the costing. So that helps us to have a cutting edge over the others.
Okay. If I may ask one more question, is that or okay? So, like, I was checking the data. So, overall, albendazole exports from India has gone up drastically. So, like, is there any so demand is shifting, so supply is shifting from China to India? Like, so most of the players are opting for India. That's why the overall export is also increasing for Indian players. Is this
nothing
right? Or
no, nothing like that. India is always a strong player in benzimidazole derivatives. Always a strong player in benzimidazole derivatives. तो आगे जाके भी चाइना इंडिया को कॉम्पीट करना मुझे तो लगता नहीं. Frankly, I don't feel that China is a threat for India as far as benzimidazole, that is typically what you are saying, albendazole and fenbendazole is concerned. Okay, so India will always stand to be on outer edge because एक तो चाइना का डिपेंडेंसी है नहीं. There is no dependency of raw materials as far as Chinese raw materials are concerned. तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. In fact, I am supplying my benzimidazole derivatives to Chinese markets. China is buying from me some of my derivatives. So ऐसा China is आगे जाके भी threat नहीं रहेगा. I am sure about it. Only you have to keep a very crucial watch that your market is not being getting spoiled by any other country, So we have that intelligence team with us who continuously monitors it. So that is all. Market at least I can say that my market share will go on growing.
Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Madhur Kotare, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Dr. Onkar, the couple of questions I had.
Right.
One is, what is the main runway? Which product will have the big runway now going forward? Tell us a little bit about some new patents. Obviously not the details, but are you looking at some new molecules or new sectors inside this animal API kind of field? And the second question related to this will be, what is the typical area of coverage in India you can cover? For example, can we supply this product to Assam, our products to Assam very cheaply given the transportation cost? Or do we have a limit like 500 kilometers or 1,000 kilometers within which our product can be supplied economically? What do you think?
See, I'll ask you a second question first. Basically, all over India, we have an excellent coverage. Excellent. If today you go to any market who consumes albendazole into dairy or poultry, they will demand Lasa's material. लासा का नाम बोल के मांग लेते हैं लोग. तो आप आसाम में जाओ, चेन्नई में जाओ, उड़ीसा में जाओ, कहीं पे भी जाओ, बद्दी में जाओ, कहीं पे भी जाओ. Lasa material is a branded material everywhere, and people depend on us because of our material is very stable, extremely stable. It has excellent solubility. It has excellent, impurity profile. तो इतने सालों में हम लोग ने अच्छा ब्रांड बनाया है लासा के मटेरियल का, albendazole हो या fenbendazole हो या कोई भी मटेरियल. As far as transportation cost is concerned, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कहीं पे भी रहने दो, अपना प्रोडक्ट जो है सुपर जेनरिक है. सो अवर प्रोडक्ट्स आर ऑफ द कॉस्ट ऑफ 2,000 to 3,000 रुपीज kg. ओके, सो इतने कॉस्टली प्रोडक्ट में ट्रांसपोर्ट कोई मायने रखता नहीं है सर. लाइक आसाम में भी अगर भेजना है तो बिहाइंड द kg आई विल सेल आउट 15 रुपीज, नॉट मोर. Like I am supplying my product from my plants are in Chipalun. Okay, तो चिपलून से भिवंडी भेजने के लिए कॉस्ट पर kg मुझे आता है अराउंड से 3 rupees or 2 rupees, something like that. So it is not much. Okay, so as far as the transportation is concerned, it's insignificant. It's for me, for my product, it's insignificant, absolutely insignificant. So that is the answer to your second question. Your first question was what kind of growth we are looking at into which product, right? If I'm not wrong.
Correct.
So going ahead, albendazole will stand to. देखो मैं अभी भी capex कर रहा हूँ. Some capex is happening धीरे-धीरे, okay, from internal accruals, strictly from accruals, not from loans, okay. So whatever expansion we are doing already to improvise the technology to be more cost efficient, to have good backward integration controls. मैं और भी कुछ albendazole में backward जा रहा हूँ अभी. I will announce it shortly. So I will go to such an extent that practically nobody can reach over there, okay. And frankly and very luckily, I may say, I have all the consents to make all the backward integration. I have the environment clearance. I have already taken, anticipating the situation, I have already taken the environment clearance for a larger quantity. Okay, so I have environment clearances, I have FDA clearances, all the clearances are on place. We have a huge land bank of 50 acres. So you can imagine how big the land bank is. And currently only 5 acres is being utilized. And remaining 45 acres is a blank land bank. Okay. So land bank is also not an issue. We have ample of power available. Ample of coal available. Coal is also not an issue because it comes from Alibag Jetty only. So it is very near to us. So the conditions are very conducive. And going ahead, the growth will be coming through the existing products, no doubt through existing products. But we are also launching 2 blockbuster products. Blockbuster means solid blockbuster products. I am giving a press release shortly. Okay, you will come to know what is the name of that product and all. But a solid blockbuster products we are launching of a market size of a single product is around 2,000 crore. Okay. Big, very big market size product, more bigger than albendazole. Okay, so such kind of super generic product we are launching, and it will be all-time demand. Like ऐसा नहीं कि there is no seasonal kind of thing. Like in albendazole तो थोड़ा सा seasonal है, पर उसमें तो seasonal भी नहीं है. Like it is an all-time this thing. So 2 products which will be launched will give growth in the next 2 to 3 years to come. So this is what is
Doctor, last question will be, we are getting good operating cash flows. Any specific ideas on deployment of those? Are you looking at buying new companies or expand our current plans?
No, I will not buy any new companies. See, because we are very good in projects and execution of the projects. So execution of the project doesn't take more than 6 months. 6 months is more than sufficient to put up an excellent project. Okay. So rather than buying a company which is always costly, it is always better to put up a project because return on capital is almost 10x. So the deployed cash for the capex into 10 is equal to your expected turnover out of that particular capex. So 10x of the capex done is the turnover. That is a thumb rule in any kind of API industry. So we will go through putting up new blocks of this thing, since we have land bank also and environment clearances also. So we will go by the brownfield expansion, you may say. So it will be a brownfield expansion.
Dr. Onkar, tell us a little about Harishri, if you can, please.
See, Harishri, already everything is in the public domain. The scheme is approved with shareholders' approval also. And it is getting merged. We are waiting for the NCLT nod, which is the CCM is scheduled on 12th of June at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. So after that, the further course of merger will go on.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vinay Pai, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about Harishri? I mean, what exactly the company does and how beneficial it will be for LASA shareholders and all that?
Yeah. That's the first question. Yeah. First of all, LASA shareholders are getting Harishri for very damn cheap. If at all we had to buy a Harishri kind of a unit from outside, it would have costed us nothing less than 100 crores. Nothing less than 100 crores. Today, Harishri is having a big factory located in Ratnagiri. and it is completely 100% doing job work for Lata basically, and it is manufacturing Halfenol, which is one of our top 3 products. It's one of the big products. Okay, so Harishri is exclusively manufacturing Halfenol from scratch to end. From scratch to end, we are manufacturing Halfenol in Harishri, and as you know, for Halfenol, it is an animal feed derivative, and it is being bought up by very big multinationals, and it contributes to around 30% of our 25 to 30% of our top line as on the day. So it is a very big opportunity. Secondly, the reason for merger of Harishri is already made clear. So Lata, it will add on to the gross block of Lata also. It will add on to some of the new consents which were not available earlier in Lata. So Lata stands to get a mileage of those consents also. Secondly, very important and interesting thing about Harishri is that it has all the regulatory approvals to make this Halfenol and sell the Halfenol, which otherwise Lata doesn't have. Because it is making this feed ingredient, it requires some special kind of approach which otherwise Lata doesn't have. So we will get a benefit of this. And right now, if you do the actual realistic valuation of Harishri, it is definitely more than what we are merging it for. So and it is nothing big deal. It is just only 5% of equity incrementation in Lata, which is happening almost approximately for the merger of Harishri, which will definitely reap very sweet fruits. I can vouch on this. It will reap very sweet fruits. You can.
Sir, the paid up capital will be 50 crores as compared to 40 crores. So it will be a 25% increase in the equity of Lata.
No, it is not such a 25% increase in the total equity. No, it is not that. It is not like that. One second. I will.
The paid up capital comes to 50 crores after the merger, whereas right now it is 40.2 or something. So it is 10 crores over 40 crores is 25 crores increase in capital, paid up capital.
Yes. See, frankly speaking, I am really not expert to answer this technical question. I'll put you in touch with my the person who is handling this particular scheme as far as this equity and all is concerned. You can directly talk to him, Mr. Pai. You can drop me your telephone number on this thing, what you call my email address. I can immediately connect him to you. You can directly talk to him.
Okay, fine. The next one is
hello. Yeah. Moreover, I'm just.
Yeah. Mr. Kabra ji, aap hai kya? I'm so sorry. I was not knowing from the line. One second, Mr. Pai. Our Mr. Kabra is already there online. He will explain the answer right away so that it is not delayed.
So basically, the important point over here, Dr. Hallekar, I think, missed out, is that currently, at present, Lata is paying job work charges to Harishri. That is a cost to Lata at present. So once Harishri gets merged into Lata, the cost will not be incurred, and that will directly add to our bottom line. That will be an added advantage as far as Lata is concerned. And dilution of capital is concerned, as you rightly said, it will increase from 40 to 50 crores.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So if you see in terms of advantage to Lata, this is going to be much more than, as Dr. Hallekar said, that the ROI in terms of addition to capital, return on capital investment is going to be much high, because the job work charges which at present we have been paying to Harishri will not be there. That will be an saving in terms of cost to Lata.
Okay, because why I ask this question is, if we see the results of Harishri that you have posted in the document, it is the turnover is hardly 3 or 4 lakhs. 3.3 or something.
No, there is a turnover, but there are other income. That is, Harishri is considering this job work charges as other income.
So total income will be how much?
Depending on the production, it varies from 2 crores to 3 crores or something like that. Job work charges. Those are the job work charges being paid by Lata to Harishri.
Okay, fine. Okay, sir. Now the question to Mr. Hallekar. Sir, this process patents that you have, those patents are owned by LASA or are they owned by some other company?
No. It is 100% proprietary ownership of LASA. You can open our website also. On the website, you will get all the granted patents. These are granted patents, not filed.
So these are owned by LASA Super Generics.
Yeah. On the website, all the patents the photos of the patents are being put up. You can see it.
Okay, fine. The next one is, sir, we saw a drastic reduction in the top line as compared to the previous quarter. Lots of people have written about this in the in the market. So why is the drastic reduction happened in this quarter, Q4 quarter?
See, in my con-call script, I have already mentioned this. I thought that you must have gone through it. See, during the Q4 in FY21, we have seen a decline in our top line, which was majorly due to the concentration of the government on procurement of the vaccine. Most of our existing customers are supplier to government against the tenders, and due to this ongoing pandemic and demand of vaccination, there are very few tenders that are coming up by the government, which has ultimately affected our top line. This is the reason. And recently the trend is seen improving also. We saw good growth in the demand, and if the trend continues, we should be crossing all our records and barriers this financial year.
I see. And the last question is, your new blockbuster molecules that are coming, what could be the commercial date of start of that, and when will it reach the full capacity?
See, right now we have procured all the reactors. We have almost procured around 17-18 reactors, almost a capex of hefty capex we have done, okay? Purely through accruals, don't worry. There is no load on balance sheet again. So, a good amount of reactors we have put on, and we have bought the reactors just now. The reactors have reached our plant. Now to erect it and commission it at least 3 months from hence, एक quarter तो जाएगा सर. तो पकड़ के चलो ना, ये quarter तो अभी खत्म हो गया. तो जुलाई या अगस्त फर्स्ट वीक तक होना चाहिए.
मैंने प्रोडक्शन स्टार्ट होना चाहिए बाय अगस्त सितंबर.
हाँ, परफेक्टली राइट सर, परफेक्टली राइट. सो Q3 में आपको इसका ये दिखना शुरू हो जाएगा. व्हाट यू कॉल द प्रोडक्शन विल गो ऑन.
And how long will it take to achieve the full capacity of the plant?
Full capacity, of course, 1 year.
अच्छा, 1 year will be 1 year after the.
एक बात बता दूं, ये प्लांट फुल कैपेसिटी में जब तक जाएगा ना, तब तक हम लोग और कैपेक्स करके इसकी और कैपेसिटी बढ़ा देंगे. Because the product which I am talking about right now is a 2,000 crore product. Single product 2,000 crore. Okay. And we are launching it with fully backward integration with some advanced novel catalyst system. I will come in the press release, everything will be mentioned. You will come to know what we are doing. Okay. So it will be a novel, fully backward integrated product. So nobody will be able to compete us in this product. I bet on this. You can take my words. Okay. So it will be a very big product. और अगले 2-3 साल 4 साल हमको और फिर दूसरा कोई प्रोडक्ट में ऐसा देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. बिकॉज यही प्रोडक्ट में we will go on increasing, we'll go on putting in blocks and blocks and blocks. So that is what we are planning. Because see, I will tell you, the more the number of products, the more the number of raw materials, the more the number of regulatory approvals, the more the number of hassles. So इसमें मजा नहीं है. तो उसके अच्छा 2-3-4 प्रोडक्ट पक्के बना के रख दी. जैसा अभी अल्बेंडाजोल में 200 करोड़ का भी टॉप लाइन किया. अल्बेंडाजोल, फेनबेंडाजोल, ऑक्सपेंडाजोल, निकोबेंडाजोल, 4 प्रोडक्ट मिला के, बरोबर की नहीं? ये प्रोडक्ट मिला के ये प्रोडक्ट में और 300-400 करोड़ की टॉप लाइन हो जाएगी. तो जब तक we reach a top line of 600-700 crores, these all 5-6 products, 7-8 products will take care of that. Okay. With a good bottom line also and with low risk profile also, because risk profile is also very important. खाली बिली प्रोडक्ट बनाते जाने का एंड देन उसका रेगुलेटरी अप्रूवल के पीछे भागते रहने का, इट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस. दैट इज व्हाट आई फील. So शांति से let us pick up blockbusters only, so that we need not diversify into multiple products. Multiple products अभी भी risky होते हैं. For a B2B segment, not for B2C. B2C is totally a different ballgame. For a B2B API segment, less the number of products, always better. Please understand.
And don't you have any plans to go to retail market? Can I buy a bottle of albendazole from the local store?
Very frankly, we aspire to do that, but we will be doing it through acquisition, because formulation is not my expertise. My expertise is catalyst chemistry, doing API, doing super generic API in a cheap way, सस्ते में बनाने का. This is all my to reduce the GP of API. ये सब मेरा ये जो है इसके ऊपर मेरा ज़्यादा फोकस है हमेशा. So I will be definitely interested to go for formulations, but if I get a good opportunity to buy out a good unit for making formulations with some reputed brands, so I will definitely do it. And we are on a hunt for it. We will search for it.
I think the margins are very high, sir. In retail, the market, albendazole, it will be quite high. It will be 30-40% or more than that.
Yeah, Mr. Pai, I appreciate, but I tell you one thing. In retail, the margins are high only for ethical business. जो ethical business होता है ना, medical representatives वाला, उसी में margins high है for a B2B. क्योंकि देखो formulations में retail में भी B2B है. You must be knowing. So B2 उसको जेनरिक बिजनेस बोलते हो. जेनरिक बिजनेस में कुछ मार्जिन नहीं है सर, लॉस है, लॉस. प्लीज बिलीव मी. एंड मेनी पीपल हैव बर्न देयर हैंड्स इन डूइंग दिस रिटेल बिजनेस. Many people, the people who have ethical brands now, you must be doing ethical brands. Ethical brands में there is a good amount of money. I do believe you. But ethical brand ऐसा overnight बनता नहीं है sir. It takes years and years. इसीलिए we are looking out for an acquisition whereby we get some ethical brand to buy out. Once we get that thing to buy out, then we can add on in the basket. Because ethical एक बार हो गया ना, तो उसमें कैसा marketing network already established होता है. To establish an ethical marketing network pan-India, it will take so much of effort, which will defocus on my current API business. I don't want to defocus on my business. Right now, all of our key management personnel are focused on this API business. Everybody knows ins and outs of this, okay? Okay. So we are, first of all, see, let us bring cash on the balance sheet first. एक ना 200-300 करोड़ कैश सरप्लस बैलेंस शीट पे आ जाना चाहिए. दिस इज माय, इफ यू आस्क मी माय विजन फॉर नेक्स्ट 2-3 years, दिस इज व्हाट आई एम लुकिंग फॉर. एक अच्छा खासा बैलेंस शीट सरप्लस आना चाहिए, जो आज के घड़ी में दिख रहा है. इतने साल आपने कभी देखा नहीं हमारे बैलेंस शीट पे. Today you are seeing a good amount of surplus in spite of doing capex. Now in the next quarter you will see, in spite of doing capex, my balance sheet is not eroded. Okay. My balance sheet is not eroded in spite of doing capex. Okay, so that is something which is to be considered about. Okay, so
yes, absolutely.
Okay, so that.
Sir, your catalyst is very expensive. Where do you get it from? I mean, you get it from the market or you make it yourself?
I make it on my own.
Oh, very good. Okay.
I make it on my own.
I see. Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Alisha Mahawala from Envision Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. I have two questions. One, while you mentioned that there is Unit 2 and you will share details shortly, for the current capacity, what is your utilization level?
Current capacity, our utilization level is almost 90%.
Okay, so it is absolutely, it is completely utilized, and any growth will have to now come from the new unit that you're talking about.
Yeah. Any new will come from the new unit as well as the debottlenecking of the existing units also, which are going on continuously.
Okay. And the second thing I wanted to understand is, in the last 3 to 4 quarters, your margins have crossed the 20% and they've sort of moved to the 22-23%. Just wanted to understand, is there a particular reason for the increase in these margins, and are they sustainable?
Yeah, see, margins are definitely sustainable unless otherwise something, the ridiculous thing happens, something like the crude goes very crazy and all, which doesn't. See, last year, the last time when the margins had come down, there was a huge debt on the balance sheet also. That also you should see. Yeah, so now it is almost a debt-free company. So we hope that the margins won't be eroded much, maybe 2-3% here and there, maximum, nothing more than that.
So would you like to comment on what has helped you improve your margins, if I see on full year basis, from 18% to 23%?
Yeah, because there were new geographies which opened up, like Russia, then Middle East. There were different geographies where we explored. Our export was earlier hardly 17%. It had jumped to 40%, you will see. So 40% of export has given us that much of this thing. Even the dollar benefit we got when the dollar had gone up in the recent past. So some benefit came out of dollar also, and some of the benefit was because of the export geographies also. So this was the cumulative reason. But usually I will tell you, EBITDA margins will fluctuate between 20 to 25% के बीच में ऐसा ही चलते रहेगा EBITDA.
20 to 25 के बीच में.
हाँ जी.
Okay. Oh, thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhijit Avlekar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Haji.
So my next question is, I have asked few questions earlier, but I want to ask few questions now. Like, how many R&D persons are there in the company currently?
We have around 20 guys.
20. Okay. And last question, like it's about Harishri. I see, after doing search, there are 2 patents on Harishri that Harishri has filed.
Right.
So after merger, what I mean to say, are those patents getting utilized currently in LASA or in current processing? Or do we want to create some products based on those?
No, we are currently using all the IPRs in LASA only. We are not using anything in Harishri as such, because Harishri doesn't sell anything to anybody, no? So there is no question of Harishri. So all the patents will be transferred to LASA post the merger.
No. My question is different, little bit different. What I am trying to say, the 2 patents which are filed on Harishri's name, are they getting used in the processes somewhere, or do we want to create, or are we going to create some new product which will use those patents processes?
Yeah, definitely. The processes will be used to, for the prospective products which we are planning, which we were planning in Harishri, which will be planned now in LASA only.
Okay, so as I understand, those patents are currently not getting utilized right now.
No, those patents are currently not getting utilized because those are not granted patents. Those are only filed patents. We have not got the grant of that patent.
Okay.
Patent comes into a force when the grant is being allotted by the government. जैसा आप मेरे लासा के वेबसाइट पे जाइए तो आपको लासा के granted patents मिल जाएंगे. Granted. When the patent is granted, then you have the right to file a litigation suit against anybody who is, violating your patent. In the case of Harishri, the patent is not get granted yet. It will get granted this year probably. Okay. तो जैसा ग्रांट हो जाएगा वैसा वो बनाना शुरू करेंगे. See, as a matter of policy, no, we don't go into those products where there is no IPR benefit. पेटेंट बेनिफिट रहेगा तो ही प्रोडक्ट करने का या तो नहीं करने का. मेरा सिंपल लुकआउट है ये, बिकॉज वी आर बीइंग एक्सपीरियंसिंग एंड वी आर ये आजमा भी लिया हमने. एज यू नो, आवर लिटिगेशन इज गोइंग ऑन विद ऑलमोस्ट 11 कंपनीज. 11 कंपनियों के साथ हमारा आउटबाउंड लिटिगेशन चल रहा है, जो दोज पीपल हु हैव वायलेटेड आवर पेटेंट. ओके, सो दिस विल गो ऑन. द पीपल हु विल ट्राई टू barge into our product using our technology, we will certainly sue them. That is what we have made very bold and clear.
Okay, then my last...
And we have dedicated team of advocates to identify such kind of infringement and to file them into requisite jurisdiction to inhibit them from making our products by our process. So sorry. Let me again say, these are process patents. So using our process is not allowed. They can use some different process and make it, but our process they cannot copy.
Okay. My last question, I just wonder if it is the right call to raise this question, like the patents which Harishri will get granted.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk the products which can be manufactured, or what plans you have for them, or you'll be talking on that in the next call on 12th?
No, my upcoming press release is coming. In that, everything will be made clear, sir. So right now, I don't want to talk more in the phone call because there is nothing in the public domain as on the date. So let it come on the public domain, and you can directly, send mails to legal@cs@lasalabs.com. Yeah, so you can take my address also, omkar@lasalabs.com. So you can write me anything. I will reply it to you within 48 hours. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Ajit Kumar, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
What kind of growth can be foreseen on quarter-on-quarter basis from now, Mr. Omkar?
Sir, quarter-on-quarter it is very difficult to comment, but year-on-year I can give you some nice guidance of around 20%.
Okay.
Quarter-on-quarter, I request all the investors that please do not judge us by quarter-on-quarter growth or decline. What happens? 2% or 3% decline in the revenue quarter-on-quarter, it is taken negative, but I don't think it is needed to be taken. You see for the entire year how much EBITDA was generated or how much PAT was generated. If you want to evaluate on the basis of PAT, you see on the absolute numbers of PAT. Okay. So last year we did around 22.3 crores. The PAT was around 29 crores something. उसमें deferred tax liability आके वो कुछ 22.5 करोड़ के लगभग का PAT आया था. Okay. On that basis you can judge me. I am very much happy to justify that. But quarter on quarter 19-20 होते रहते हैं साहब. It is seasonal products sometimes कुछ regulatory hassles के वजह से like MPCB and there are many hassles you must be knowing. So we have to combat all this, sir. तो ये करते करते हमको भी इतना क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर डिलीवर करना कभी कभी गड़बड़ हो जाता है.
Okay. So what kind of growth impact you see due to this recent COVID surge? Does it impact any kind of market share or market growth for you?
No, not market share, certainly. Neither market growth also. See, what has happened, government has defocused its attention over non-essential things. I'll tell you in short. Earlier, this albendazole used to be administered to children in the school because there used to be a deworming campaign everywhere in India. But now since schools are closed, these deworming campaigns are closed. Again, the demand for dairy things like ice creams, paneer, and other chocolates and etc., which requires a lot of milk because of the essential commodities in this thing. People are little defocused on this dairy industry. Like people, as you must have seen, most of the people have stopped eating ice cream also because of the fear of COVID. So this has given an indirect hit to the dairy industry, because of which the last quarter was a little grey quarter. You must have seen. This was the actual reason. And then government was also focusing not on this non-essential commodities. Government was focusing on favipiravir, on remdesivir, on vaccines. So this was the main focus of the government. And our particular product goes into tender businesses. So most of the sales which is happening is through tenders only right now. So that has given a hit on the Q3 top line. But this is seen reviving, and please do not judge us by this COVID thing. This COVID gonna not last for long. At least hardly 3-4 months this COVID will finish off. So you don't worry. That will the dip in the top line in the last quarter will be compensated in the upcoming quarters.
I have a couple of questions, Mr. Omkar. One is on the competitive advantage. How many products or molecules do you have considering the competitive advantage with your competitors?
I didn't get you. Can you please redefine your question?
The products or molecules where you have competitive advantage, how many such products you have in your portfolio?
All products, sir. All products. We don't work with any product where there is not a competitive advantage. All products have competitive advantage. All products are patented. All products are backward integrated.
Okay. Also, we could see here last year that you had done certain work on COVID side as well, right? And on the
COVID activity. Okay.
Yeah. So what's the update on that? You have jointly worked with the government agencies bringing certain remedies for COVID. What is the update on that?
See, update means the products which I was planning to push up in the government to get favipiravir, bring into the market and allow favipiravir registration in India, which is already done. Right now, majority of the patients recovering out of COVID are getting favipiravir. And you can right away check my tweets on my Twitter account since March 2019, when COVID just stepped in March, 13 March 2019, I remember, it came in India. So from that time onwards, I am being very actively pursuing this favipiravir. And I can even, need be show you my communications with the DCGI, with the Health Ministry, with many more agencies which are parallelly running with the government to bring this favipiravir registration in India, which ultimately happened. There was a heavy lot of follow-up from my side, and ultimately this favipiravir got registered in India. And because of which right now the mortality rate has also come down and patients are getting revived. The moderate patients are getting revived within a week's time. 4 to 5 days, they are becoming more or less asymptomatic. So this is the the outcome of our efforts.
Thanks a lot, Onkar.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are no further questions, with that we conclude today's conference. We thank you all for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines. Thank you.